Hey, what's up, folks? So, on the journey for plant care in my plant collection, the plants I've accumulated over the years, this is my Red Heart Philodendron, and it's time to chop. Keep watching. I'm an exotic plant collector. How you doing? My name is Gerard. This channel is talking about, this channel is basically me documenting my plant collection, my indoor plant collection, because I'm an exotic plant collector. So today I am going to be doing some cuts, I'm not sure how many, of my pink, not my pink princess, but my Red Heart Philodendron that I have been on a roller coaster trying to grow this thing, trying to figure out where I go wrong when it shows me things like such as this state that it's on, because right now it's not happy. It's early March, it's like March 3rd, something like that. So this plant, and along with other plants, have been neglected because my humidifier broke down, and I neglected to buy another one in a reasonable time. Within, I think I waited 2 months to buy another humidifier during the winter, and these plants suffered. So my previous videos of showing you this is probably when it was doing very, very well, and now it's not doing very well. It's kind of bouncing back, but I didn't show too many of this because this is not how it's supposed to look, but this is how it looks. Well, this is how my pink princess, well, not my pink princess, I keep calling her pink princess. This is how my Red Heart Philodendron looks when it suffered from a lack of the proper humidity in my, well, this is what it looks like when it suffers from humidity. It drops all those leaves, they get crinkly. This is like a little bit of diatomaceous earth on here, but it's just not the way it should be. It just dropped all its leaves. It was getting watered properly, but this thing needs everything. This thing needs everything precise. This is not one of your philodendrons that you can sleep on. Let's just put it like that. But now that my humidity is back up to par, since it's lost all its leaves, I think it's a very, very good time for me to do a propagation on it, because I haven't propagated this plant at all. I don't know how fast it responds to water propagation, and me and you are going to go on this journey together for my first ever propagation of the Red Heart Philodendron. So I've had a lot of videos in the past that responded very well with YouTube regarding this plant, and a lot of people have been talking to me on how to care for this plant, and I've been asking for a lot of advice. Most of the advice that I do give is for my house. I'm not sure where you're keeping your plant or where you intend to keep your plant, but this is what happens at my house, so it might be different from yours. But I do want to tell you that this is not a plant that you should neglect. So I would hope that someone out there that knows about this plant would agree that it needs at least a 50% humidity range, a nice aeroid mix, fast draining, airy, because it is a philodendron. And it needs a not a frequent watering, but I usually do the soil test, and if the soil is dry for a day or two, I usually water it. And it could be a week, could be 2 weeks, but depending on the temperature of the house, things like that, it's not consistent. So do not want to tell you that's on a consistent schedule for watering. And if you don't have a humidity gauge in your house and you don't have good humidity, do not get this plant. I'm just letting you know. It's a beautiful plant. It has like these nice red thrushes, but in hindsight, when I first got this plant from overseas, it looked great. A day or two, it didn't look great, and weeks later, I probably had 4, and I ended up with 1, and this is the remaining 1 that I've had for I think about 2 or 3 years now. I'm not sure. So what I'm planning on doing is first getting rid of some of these dead leaves because I'm not happy, so I can see where to make my cuts. So what I'm going to do is probably give it a really big haircut. I might just cut it here. There's a couple nodes. I'm sure there's a couple growth points. And I want to also say I want to cut this also and leave these 2 leaves here. So I might cut it like right there, and I might cut it again here. So I should have like 3 red hearts propagated. I'm using these Fisker shears. They're not scissors, but they are very sharp. I kind of just sanitized them. They look a little dry yet, but they are super sharp. And I'm gonna have a little moment of silence before I start this project because I hope this plant survives. I want to make sure it has everything it needs. I'm going to water propagate it. Well, I'll show you in the rest of the video what I do to it, and I'll show you also when it starts growing roots. So this is March 3rd, and hopefully in 3 weeks I'll be able to show you how it looks like when it starts growing some roots. So here we go. I have a container, and I'll put the cuttings in. I have some cinnamon. Dip the cuttings in to stop any fungus, or it just helps, also encourages growth, root growth, and it's all natural. Alright, I'm nervous. I'm a little nervous, but we can do it. Now or never. Here we go. First cut. It's very tight in there. Very tight in there. I'm gonna go a little higher. There it is. And you can smell. You smell every time you, I don't know if cut a philodendron, they have like a very distinct smell. I normally do not cut the plants next to each other because I'm hearing that they can pick up on the scent that they've been cut and kind of harden themselves. That's just what I heard. Not trying to spread false information. That's just what I heard. So we got a cut there. I want to make another cut because I want to get at least 2 or 3 plants going. So there's like 2 nodes there. Dead leaves. We'll cut it here. That's the other one there. We'll keep this one there. There's like a little droplets. Hope you can kind of see blood almost as a color. Look at that. Crazy. Usually when I do make the cuts, I let them callus over for 15 minutes. Then I'll dip them in some water. Well, actually, after I make the first cut, I'm gonna add some cinnamon in a little bit. But this is not done yet. So I'll dip them all at the same time. Put my timer on for 15 minutes and keep you informed of what happens next. Whew, here we go. I'm gonna make one more cut. I can see where some of the growth points will be, so I don't want to slice into it, but it's like a real black stem. There it is. I'm gonna leave this like this. Be 2 cut half. This is what we got there. This is the remaining 2 leaves. This is what it looks like now. Alright, so now I'm gonna grab some cinnamon. Dip it, 1 dip. So I should be coming out with 4 philodendrons sometime in a couple of weeks. We'll see how it goes. I'll let you know how the progress is, so keep watching.